Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. This is a recording of Game 1 of the June LCS, playing Brad Reinhold's Yomunning deck. It's kind of a combo of the two decks that he played on day 1 and day 2 at the Endor Grand Prix. But I like the idea of the Yoda communing and the fact that they generally run a decent amount of space compared to a lot of the mains platforms. Unfortunately, my original recording of the live game somehow got deleted or misplaced. I don't know what I did with it. I'm not a tech person, so but I did want to, for completion's sake, have this on file here with the other collection of the videos. So we're going to go through against ROPS. My game plan was that I wanted to try and attack them early, but unfortunately I didn't draw a hand that had some Jedi that could go down and do that. But then you saw a moment ago when I used the communing ability to look at the top card of my force pile, it was a Mace Windu. So I put it to the bottom so that I could draw it at the end of the turn and then hopefully go down. Now here, at this point, you're probably thinking, oh my good lord, what is he doing? He just dropped Luke in red 5. And I had a lot of force. I wasn't sure what to do with it. I thought, let's just play Luke and maybe we can get some action going in space. But, I wasn't really thinking I'm not going to pay 3 to drain next turn. There's no way that's happening. So I'm not sure why I wanted to do that. And, yeah, just wasn't thinking through enough about my game plan and sticking to my game plan. So he's set up now. Maybe I should have thought about moving over to Ralt here to try and prevent the flip. But I guess, look at that, I did pay to drain anyhow. So my hand's going to be really low. He's got 10 in hand. Probably a bad idea to pay for that drain. And a bad idea to play Luke in the first place, as now I'm just playing the game so short-handed on 3 cards. So, yeah, I don't remember exactly what my thought process was. And here I make a mistake. So for those of you that aren't aware, what just happened there was he close called my destiny. So he's reducing it by 3. Close call is going to go to his lost pile. It's a lost interrupt. But ROPS with Insignificant Rebellion has a way to pull it back out. So close call is one of those cards that you often will want to grab. However, I also had the sense. I don't know why I thought I would burn the sense here. I think just to save the 2 force, because I knew if he drops my destiny down to 3, I'm only a 9. He's already getting 2 or plus 3, so he's going to be at 6. So I thought if he draws anything more than 3, I might have to lose some force. I think I was just trying to save that. Probably a waste of the sense anyway, but my intention was to grab the close call and then cancel it as well, but I messed up the order. You have to grab the interrupt first and then sense the effect. I played the sense first instead of grabbing it first. So what's going to happen here is that the close call is going to end up in the use pile because of the oppressive, and I don't get a chance to grab it. So yeah, interesting little interaction there. And turns out he only drew 3 after all. So it was kind of a waste. I could have just lost the 1. and I would have been fine. And so now here, I'm going to look, I'm going to see Vergence. I know that that's not a useful card in the matchup, but I just forgot to click it, so I had left it on top, so he let me revert and put it on the bottom. So I can sit on that one force to grab something, and because he's not going to be draining of more than 2 ever. So now he's going to force push, assuming to get an Emperor, probably, since he got the Emperor's shuttle, and Luke's going to be in trouble. So just having Luke there is a liability that I didn't need to have in this game. And so I could have just had a lot more cards in hand right now, been drawing towards those X-Wing cannons, made him deploy in space first. And that would have been a lot better. So obviously we're going to lose this battle. And he's immune, and I, am kind of immune as well. Or I guess I think Luke is immune, but to be down by 7, I just end up losing Luke here. I think about popping the Yoda retrieval to get Luke back right away, but I end up holding on to it, and maybe it would have been a better play to get it back, because he is really the way of getting any retrieval going, so you do want him to stick on the board. So yeah, here I should back up a little bit. Oh, can I back up in this recording? Let's let it reverse eventually. No? Okay. I had a couple options there for what to pull. I ended up pulling the Solo because I thought I wanted to try and clear him off, but he did end up having the barrier. So I won't be able to start if I can get the extra Destiny there. So I just end up drawing some more cards. And yeah, this is not super vulnerable. You're getting 2 Destiny. You can reduce the attrition, so he will have a big chunk of attrition though, because he'll get the bonus, and he's going to go down over here for the extra one. So he's just piling up some forfeit there. The Blizzard Scout one, though, is going to cancel Mace's immunity, so that's bad news, as he's going to end up going away. And now you can see I'm just behind all over the map. I'm behind in space, behind on the ground. He's flipped and running, and already it is not looking good. I do have a few extra cards on him at this point, but he's going to refill his hand a little bit, so that's pretty much equal. And he's going to start retrieving cards for winning battles. And yeah, it's going to put me in a really bad spot. So I think being more patient was definitely the key. And I should have never deployed Luke. Just waited, filled up my hand, sent Mace down. Looked for other options there. So now he moves the Blizzard 4 over. He has a ton of power there. And so I think I see the cannons on top. So this is a really nice play pattern with the deck when you have Ray out. I guess with any of the commuting decks, since they all give you a peek if you're using this Ray. You can peek, bottom the card, and then immediately draw it if it's something you want. So I wanted those cannons. I want to find Poe. I want to go shoot this shuttle out of the sky is my kind of game plan here. And then depending on force that I have left, I think I'm thinking about initiating here as well. Maybe dropping someone for a forfeit and trying to clear off some of those bodies. So we're going to look for Poe. We managed to find him. And then I realize as I put the cannons on there, I've got to pay 1 to initiate, 3 for the cannons. That leaves me with only 3 force. I'm not going to be able to deploy anyone here. So that leaves them a little more vulnerable than I wanted. And at this point I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking a little bit better. I can remove his shuttle, and ROPS doesn't play a ton of space traditionally. Maybe they got a Vader shuttle in there. Maybe they got a Star Destroyer. I've seen Binder in there as well. So maybe I can boot him out of space, make his drains cost money, and start fighting back on the ground a little bit. I just need to survive whatever is coming to the docking bay here. So he goes and pulls Vader's shuttle. Well, what's coming to the docking bay is a stormtrooper garrison, so that is not good for Rey and Han there. She's going to draw that card before she goes away. He keeps drawing Close Call for Destiny, which is great for me since he doesn't get to play it. And he makes a nice play here. He swaps Min for Isard since she's a spy, so he's going to go down here and start draining. But he had to set that up with the this ahead of time. So now I see this 3PO, and I'm trying to track it because I have the word doomed, and I think, okay, if I can hang around long enough to drop 3PO, get the word doomed cycling, reduce his drains on Raltier so that he's not, effectively not really draining at all. I can maybe get back in there. And now I start trying to put things to the bottom to get back to Rey or Solo or someone good, someone important there. With commuting. So unfortunately, we only get the drain of 1 since he's flipped. We can deploy that site. And I think we go down with Qui-Gon here. I'm thinking that I'm going to try and take my 1 battleground so I don't have to pay to drain in space. And then I'm going to try and start hunting him with some of the space that I have. I've got a wedge somewhere in the deck. We sit on our 1 last card. Next turn we're hoping to get the 3PO. But for right now, he's still chipping away. Oh, the other thing that I was worried about is he hasn't grabbed anything yet, and so I don't want to show the word doomed at this point because I don't want it to get grabbed. I really want him to try and grab someone else. I was a little bit confused by this play, throwing this guy in front of Obi-Wan. But I think, ultimately, ROPS is going to get high enough destinies with the bonuses that it's pretty tough for them to get blown out at a site. So essentially he just traded 1 card for, well, I guess right now 1 with the minus, but potentially 2 with the lightsaber comes down. So and I thought if I can get the back to tank going and start recycling some of my characters, I can maybe starting some fights and picking away at him. now he plays his close call. Now I get a chance to grab it, since I messed that up the first time. And he ends up here making me lose a few cards, actually, as well. So I guess, yeah, that's the other reason to go down, because you're a decent sized body. You know, even though I drew well on my destiny, he gets more, caused me to lose a couple force there, so really good trade for him. And then here, I'm not exactly sure what I was thinking, because Obi-Wan isn't immune. I'm not sure. I was getting a little desperate at this point. Oh, I thought I had the red. That's what I was going to do. I was sacrificing the red 5 to the attrition from this battle, and hopefully trying to clear him off, or at least get rid of Tarkin. Unfortunately, he pulled the Palpatine, so that was enough attrition to get both of my ships. And so that puts me in a really bad spot. We can move Finn over or Poe over, but yeah, we were hoping to have Obi-Wan's ship there as well. Now I'm getting pretty low on the deck. He's also low, but he's 2 cards up. But you can see he's just got total board control, and is doing what he wants to do. I think here I get surprised a little bit by what he plays. Yeah, a second shuttle, and I was surprised at that. I haven't seen a lot of decks running a second shuttle, and so I was like, crap. Well, I thought I was getting close to getting out of space. He has the ceasefire to cancel the cannons, so now with his plus to destiny, he tracked his Emperor around again, and that is going to be enough to clear off Poe, which is bad for me. So even down to 7, Poe reduces it to 5, but it's enough to get them both. Put Poe in the back to tank, thinking I might try and retrieve a ship here in a minute, but the card I really need is the cannons. And then I think at this point I call it here, yeah. So not a great first game. I think with the Yoda communing, the whole point is to stick characters by keeping their attrition under their immunity. Unfortunately, ROPS with the huge destinies, like he pulled 9 attrition a couple times. That's just too much. So I definitely think, though, not dropping loot, building a bigger hand, going down Mace turn 2, and then seeing what I can do from there might have given this a different result. But anyhow, that was game 1. We will see how the other ones go.